From the depths of the ocean to the edge of space, from silent submarines patrolling beneath the waves to fighter jets screaming across the sky, the United States military stands as one of the most powerful and technologically advanced forces the world has ever seen. But beyond the uniforms and firepower, there's a hidden world of innovation, history, and human dedication. Today, we uncovered 10 top facts about the U.S. military, stories that will surprise, inspire, and maybe even shock you. Fact number 10. The U.S. military is older than the United States itself. Before America even declared independence, it already had a military. The Continental Army, formed on June 14, 1775, was established to fight against British rule, a full year before the Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776. Led by General George Washington, this early force was poorly equipped, underfunded, and often outnumbered. Yet its determination set the foundation for the United States Armed Forces we know today. Over 2 centuries later, that small revolutionary army has evolved into a global military superpower, operating on every continent, in every domain: land, sea, air, space, and cyberspace. From muskets and cannons to hypersonic missiles and stealth bombers, the U.S. military has come a very long way. Fact number 9. The U.S. Navy is larger than the next several navies combined. The United States Navy isn't just big, it's colossal. With over 290 deployable battle force ships, including 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, it's the most powerful naval force on Earth. To put that in perspective, the U.S. has more aircraft carriers than every other nation combined. Each of these floating cities can carry up to 75 aircraft and house over 5,000 personnel. Modern carriers like the USS Gerald R. Ford cost more than $13 billion each and serve as mobile air bases capable of projecting power anywhere in the world. From the Pacific to the Persian Gulf, American carriers ensure that wherever there's a crisis, the U.S. Navy is only days away. Fun fact, the U.S. Navy also operates more aircraft than most air forces in the world, second only to the U.S. Air Force itself. Fact number 8. The U.S. Air Force is its own branch, but it used to be part of the Army. Before 1947, the skies belonged to the U.S. Army Air Forces, not an independent branch. But after the Second World War, when the importance of air power became undeniable, the National Security Act of 1947 created the U.S. Air Force as a separate service. Since then, it's become the largest and most technologically advanced air force in human history. With over 5,000 aircraft in service and a global network of bases, the U.S. Air Force controls the skies and, increasingly, space. Its mission isn't just to fight wars, but to deter them through dominance, readiness, and precision. And speaking of space, that brings us to our next fact. Fact number 7. The U.S. military has a space force. Yes, the U.S. Space Force is real, and it's not science fiction. Formed in December 2019, it became the first new military branch in over 70 years. Its mission? To protect American interests beyond Earth, including satellites, communications, and orbital defense. Space is the new frontier of warfare, from GPS and missile warning systems to global communications and surveillance. Control of orbit means control of information, and information means power. The Space Force may be small, but its role is enormous, ensuring America's dominance in the final frontier. Fact number 6. The U.S. Special Operations Forces operate almost everywhere. You've heard the names: Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, Delta Force, Green Berets, and Air Force Pararescue. But what's astonishing is just how global their reach is. Reports estimate that U.S. Special Operations Forces are active in over 70 countries at any given time, conducting training, reconnaissance, and counterterrorism missions. These elite soldiers represent less than 5% of the total military, but often carry out the most dangerous and politically sensitive missions. From the raid that killed Osama bin Laden to hostage rescues and anti-terror operations, special ops units are the sharpest edge of the U.S. military blade. Fact number 5. The U.S. military budget is larger than the next 10 countries combined. Numbers don't lie, and America's defense budget is staggering. For fiscal year 2025, the U.S. military budget exceeded $860 billion. That's more than the defense spending of China, Russia, India, the UK, France, Germany, Japan, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, and Brazil combined. This enormous investment fuels not just firepower, but research, technology, and global logistics. It funds 800-plus overseas bases, the nuclear triad, and the most advanced R&D programs on Earth. From stealth aircraft to quantum communications, the American military-industrial complex drives innovation that often spills over into civilian life, from GPS to the Internet itself. Fact number 4. The U.S. military is a technology powerhouse. When it comes to tech, the U.S. military leads the world. Organizations like DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, have been behind some of the most groundbreaking inventions in history. DARPA helped create the Internet, stealth technology, autonomous drones, and even early AI systems. Today, military scientists are experimenting with hypersonic weapons, laser defenses, brain-computer interfaces, and autonomous swarms. The battlefield of the future won't just be fought with bullets, but with algorithms, data, and artificial intelligence. And speaking of numbers, that brings us to our next fact. Fact number 3. The U.S. military is one of the largest employers on Earth. With over 1.3 million active duty personnel and another 800,000 reservists, the U.S. military employs more than 2 million people directly. Add civilian workers and defense contractors, and the total number of people who depend on the military ecosystem exceeds 4 million. That makes the Department of Defense not only the largest employer in the United States, but one of the largest on Earth. The military also provides health care, education, and housing, forming a vast internal system that supports millions of families. It's a world within a world, with its own schools, hospitals, and even grocery stores. Fact number 2. The U.S. military has bases in over 80 countries. Few nations can project power across the globe like the United States. With over 750 overseas bases, the U.S. military maintains a constant presence from Germany to Japan, from Bahrain to Djibouti. These installations serve as logistical hubs, training grounds, and deterrents, ensuring America can respond to crises anywhere, anytime. Critics call it overreach. Supporters call it deterrence. Either way, it's a defining feature of modern geopolitics. The global footprint of the U.S. military shapes not just defense, but diplomacy, trade, and even culture. Fact number 1. The U.S. controls the world's most powerful nuclear arsenal. At the top of the list, the ultimate fact about U.S. military power, its nuclear triad. The United States maintains around 5,000 nuclear warheads, with 1,700 deployed and ready to use at any time. These weapons are delivered by a three-part system: land-based ICBMs, submarine-launched missiles, and strategic bombers. This nuclear triad ensures that even if one leg is destroyed, the other two can still retaliate, guaranteeing what's known as mutually assured destruction. It's a grim concept, but it's also what's kept global nuclear peace for over 70 years. It's the ultimate paradox. The weapons powerful enough to end civilization may also be the reason it survived this long without another world war. The story of the U.S. military isn't just about strength, it's about resilience, innovation, and sacrifice. From a ragtag revolutionary army to the world's most advanced fighting force, the journey of the American military mirrors the story of the nation itself, built on courage, shaped by challenge, and defined by service. Whether you admire it, question it, or simply marvel at it, one thing is clear. The U.S. military remains one of the most influential institutions in human history. Respect the past, understand the present, shape the future. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest military powers.